Signore e signori, buonasera. Benvenuti alla Casa Italiana Zerilli Marimò della New York University for this very special evening dedicated to Giacomo Puccini. It seems that New York doesn't love Puccini, right? Look at you. I think it's the event of the year that had more success in terms of response that we got from the audience. And the response that every opera by Puccini performed is a success. You cannot go wrong. And I'm very happy that both Fondazione Festival Pucciniano and Lunigiana International Music Festival have decided to celebrate their agreement to produce more of Puccini's operas and more initiatives related to Puccini, and they've decided to present these initiatives here at the Casa Italiana. I would like to greet the mayor of Fivizzano, Gianluigi Giannetti. Mayor, buonasera. Fivizzano che è in Lunigiana, giusto Sindaco? Lunigiana, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's not a region, it's not a province, it's actually a territory that includes what are now two separate provinces in two separate regions, giusto Sindaco? Toscana e Liguria, Massa e La Spezia. And the name comes from the ancient diocese of Luni, from the Middle Ages, a diocese that doesn't exist anymore, but it expresses the unity of this territory on the coast between Tuscany and Liguria. So that's what Lunigiana is, and we're going to hear more about it. I'm going to go very fast because you're here to listen to Puccini's music, right? So I would like to invite to the stage the president and artistic director of the Lunigiana International Music Festival, Andrea Rossi and Chantal Balestri. And I would like also to invite Simone Dini Gandini, who is the writer and the content creator for the Puccini Festival in Torre del Lago. Prego, Simone. Allow me to say that this is a celebration of Puccini in New York and of the love affair that began more than 100 years ago between the great composer and the city. And I'm delighted to welcome back to New York Chantal, who is an alumna of New York University. She got her degree in piano here at the Steinway School of Music. She went on back to Italy to work at the Lunigiana Festival, and she brought it back here. Thank you, all of you, for being here tonight.
Grazie. Buonasera a tutti. Io sono Andrea Rossi, presidente del Lunigiana International Music Festival. Sono molto onorato di essere qui, è la prima volta che vengo a New York, la seconda in America, e devo dire che è una città incredibile, veramente fantastica.
No worry, I'm going to translate for you. So, welcome everyone. This is Andrea, it's the president of Lunigiana International Music Festival, and I'm very, very pleased to be here in New York with you all for the first time.
Dobbiamo andare veloci perché giustamente Puccini e la sua musica ci attende. Voglio ringraziare naturalmente, il passaggio mio è istituzionale, solamente istituzionale, il direttore della Casa Italiana, Albertini, chiedo scusa ma sui nomi non sono molto forte, per la splendida accoglienza che abbiamo avuto, per veramente e le faccio tanti complimenti per come siamo stati ricevuti. Devo ringraziare la Fondazione Festival Pucciniano, e in particolare il dottor Franco Moretti, con il quale abbiamo instaurato questo rapporto, e tutte quelle persone che hanno lavorato a questo evento, che sono state dietro le quinte, che è un evento appunto che è volto a celebrare la figura di quello che è stato uno dei più grandi, se non il più grande, operista di tutti i tempi.
So, he wants to thank so much, of course, all the people involved to make this happen, because here we are, as you know, celebrating this important maestro Puccini, and so he thanked the director Stefano Albertini from Casa Italiana here, but also Fondazione Pucciniano, but are all estimated a partner for us. So thank you all for making this happen, all the welcome, all the work, but there's been a lot of work behind the scenes to make this happen. Qual era?
Che è il più grande operista di tutti.
Okay, so Puccini is the biggest operatic composer of all times. He wanted to make this clear to all of you. Yes. So, bene, è finito? Ok, allora lascio la parola.
A me te non va bene
Sì, dopo parlo io.
Ah, okay. Oh, first of all, thank you all. It's a real pleasure for us from Puccini Festival being here, and it's such an honor. I'm so thrilled and excited because New York is the place, and Puccini loved New York, and New York loved Puccini, and it's my first time here, and I really love New York, and I understand why he loved New York. Really, it's amazing. But we are a small town, Torre del Lago, but it's the place where Puccini decided to live for more than 30 years. And here he wrote all his most famous operas. Torre del Lago is not only a place, but when you come in Torre del Lago to listen to Puccini's opera, you will get the experience of Puccini, you will feel him. Our theater is few meters far from his villa where he's buried right now. So Puccini Festival is now reaching its 70th year, and with a special program this year for Puccini celebration, for 100-year death celebration. And of course, we are all waiting for you to come and visit us and get the experience of Giacomo Puccini's very land and the land of his inspiration, because Tuscany and Torre del Lago e Viareggio are magic places. Thank you.
As you can see, you will have all the information, so you can, Torre del Lago and Lunigiana are so close by, 1 hour by car, so 2 for 1. And you can come to see everything we do, and we do the project together. So this is actually the first event of actually an organization between us for an opera project. And we are going to do Suor Angelica Lunigiana with the orchestra of the Festival Puccini and our students from all around the world, because we are also not just a music festival, but also a summer music program with students from around the world. So I want personally to thank the co-directors of the new program, Christine Moore-Vassallo and Sacco Sato Timpone. And I don't know if you want to say anything there, Christine. So, I just... Oh, are you okay?
Buonasera a tutti. Io sono Christine. I'm Christine Moore-Vassallo. I've been with the festival since it began in 2018, thanks to Chantal, who invited me to become the first voice teacher there. And then a year later, I invited my wonderful colleague, Sahoko Sato, who you will hear sing tonight. It's a great opportunity. Yes, it's a great... It's a great opportunity for young singers and instrumentalists. It's a great springboard, and many of our students have gone on to greater things, including things like Santa Fe Opera apprentice programs. So I invite you to come visit and maybe even make a donation, especially for our wonderful opera project happening for the first time this August. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. So, now you have an idea in general what's going to happen, and you saw this is a big part of a big process, but here we are now, and I'm happy to introduce a little bit about the program. Now, you saw the program. There is so much music that you will go to listen. It's mostly operatic, but Puccini actually wrote also not just opera piece, and we wanted to present some of them to you. And it's going to happen thanks to Simone Dini Gandini, who is having a narration through that. So you will see there will be musical moments and the narration by him, and he will explain a lot about Puccini life. But I don't want to tell you too much because it's a surprise. You will see images and so on. So just think like this as a theatrical show with its flow going on. And so alternating this music and speech together. Okay, so he said that maybe will be a surprise about some kind of special voice. So let's see what this will be about. So without further ado, I welcome on stage all the musicians to come here, the performers.
Thank you. giunto, che dirà, chiamerà butterfly dalla lontana, io senza dar risposta me ne starò nascosta, un po' per celia e un po' i nomi che mi dava il suo venire. Tutto questo avverrà, te lo prometto. Tienti la tua io con sicura fede
Andrei su Ponte Vecchio, ma per buttarmi in Arno. I'd go up to Ponte Vecchio, but to throw myself into Arno. Yet it was not the Florentines who first heard these notes. It was the New Yorkers. On December the 14th, 1918, in fact, Il Trittico debuted at the Metropolitan Opera House. But unlike previous occasions, Puccini was not present at the premiere of Il Tabarro, Suor Angelica, and Gianni Schicchi. The First World War ended just a month before, and the danger of encountering German submarines during the transatlantic crossing was still too high. Who knows how much the master regretted it? Almost to throw himself into the Arno, maybe. Because between Giacomo Puccini and New York, it was love at first sight. New York, straordinaria, he wrote to his publisher Ricordi after the city debut of Manon Lescaut at the beginning of 1907. Serata da non poter quasi descrivere, a night that can hardly be described. A packed hall, extraordinary ovations never seen before. Caruso, as extraordinary as usual, il solito straordinario. In fact, it was Enrico Caruso, the greatest tenor of all time, and a dear friend of Giacomo Puccini, who christened the New York debut of Manon. The same incredible success followed the next days also La Bohème, Tosca, and Madama Butterfly. La stampa è unanime, the press is unanimous, he writes again to Ricordi, unanimous in magnifying, nel magnificare. Not bad for the son of Michele Puccini, the organist of the Cathedral of Lucca. Not bad for someone who grew up without a father, who died when Giacomo was still a child. Yet, Giacomo never lacked love, pampered as he was by his mother and numerous sisters. Giacomo Puccini e le donne. Giacomo Puccini and the women. With them, too, as it happened for New York, it was love at first sight. Giacomo loved them all his life, understood them like few others. He was loved in return. And women will be the heroines of his works. Manon, Mimi, Tosca, Cho-Cho-san, Minnie, Liu, and the Ice Princess, Turandot. Women so different from each other, but united by the same deep, true ability to understand and live the word love, amore.
Batte i tuoi venti
to Paganini, G. Puccini. The Paganini was a cultural magazine printed in Genoa, and named, no need to say, after the great Genoese violinist Niccolò Paganini. In Italy, the saying Paganini non ripete, Paganini does not repeat, remains proverbial to this day, a statement attributed to the violinist himself, who always refused to encore his virtuosities. Well, coincidence or not, with the Sole Amore, we're faced with the case of Paganini non ripete. Not only the music, in fact, but also the words of this romanza were written by Giacomo Puccini. A unique and repeatable case. It was March 1888, and at the same time Giacomo Puccini was composing his second opera, Edgar. With a libretto by Ferdinando Fontana, the opera tells the story of a man torn between love for two completely different women, Fidelia and Tigrana. The debut was scheduled for the following year, 1889, in the most important opera house in the world, La Scala di Milano. The commissioner was Ricordi, the most important publisher in Italy. Ricordi had been impressed by Puccini's talent a few years earlier, in 1884, when he attended the one-act play of this young Tuscan at Teatro dal Verme in Milan. Le Villi was an opera composed for a competition for young composers, an opera that didn't win, but convinced his teachers and the Milanese music circle to stage it. The success was immediate, total. The composer Italy was waiting for, the newspapers wrote the next day. Giacomo was right then. He had done well to leave Lucca, his hometown, to leave the security of the organist's occupation at the cathedral, like his father. Per il melodramma, Giacomo had a revelation at 18, in 1876, when he walked from Lucca to Pisa, more than 40 kilometers go and back, to attend Giuseppe Verdi's Aida. That evening, as he remembered years later, the holy God, il Dio Santo, mi toccò con il mignolo. He touched me with his little finger and told me, write for the theater, scrivi per il teatro, bada bene, mind you, only for the theater, solo per il teatro. And I followed the supreme advice. However, the audience at La Scala was lukewarm towards Puccini and his Edgar, but not Ricordi, who continued to believe in Puccini's talent. He commissioned him a new opera. While looking for a suitable place for his inspiration, Puccini discovered Torre del Lago, close to Lucca and Pisa, 5 kilometers from Viareggio, and nestled between Lake Massaciuccoli and the Mediterranean Sea. Torre del Lago, he wrote in one of his numerous letters. Gaudio supremo, supreme joy. Paradiso, Eden, Empireo, ivory tower, spiritual vessel, Reggia, palace. Quiet village with splendid woods up to the sea. Populated by deers, wild boars, hares, rabbits, tramonti lussuriosi e straordinari, lustful and extraordinary sunsets. In Torre del Lago, Puccini lived for over 30 years, from 1891, and there he wrote his immortal melodies, starting with Manon Lescaut, the opera that led him to success in 1893.
Ah!
Sto bene a Torre, è quella la vita che mi ci vuole. I'm fine in Torre, that's the life I need. Torre del Lago had also been home to a small group of Tuscan painters known as macchiaioli. The macchiaioli used to paint en plein air, outside, in the pine wood or by the lake, and formed a deep friendship with Puccini. They all were young, and together they enjoyed spending time playing cards, drinking, hunting. In a hut right by the lake, they even founded a club, the club La Bohème, in honor of the new opera Puccini was writing. Like any self-respecting club, the club La Bohème had also its own statute. The members of the club La Bohème swear to drink good and even eat better. Grumblers, pedants, weak stomachs, and similar people are not admitted. The cashier has the authority to run away with the cash. All legal games are strictly prohibited. Silence is forbidden. Wisdom is not admitted, not even exceptionally. Puccini's life in Torre del Lago flowed this way, with friends and at the piano. The maestro liked to write at night, when the lake was silent, and around him, instead, his friends playing and drinking and having fun. So one night, during a card game, Giacomo Puccini turned to his friend and "Silenzio!" he shouted. Ho finito la bohème. I finished la bohème.
Si mi chiamano me, la storia
the dawn of the new century, Puccini seems to have the world in his hands. Manon, Lescaut and La Bohème are two extraordinary successes in Italy and Europe. His relationship with Ricordi is solid, and the financial problems that troubled him in his youth are a distant memory. In 1900, in fact, Puccini inaugurates the new villa on the lake, built on the foundations of the ancient tower that gives its name to Torre del Lago. Just a couple of weeks into the 1900s, and at the Teatro Costanzi, Roma, on January the 14th, his new opera, Tosca, debuts. Another great success. A beautiful, strong, yet fragile singer, Floria Tosca, finds herself causing a lover's arrest due to her uncontrollable jealousy. Jealousy. A situation Giacomo Puccini himself had to face several times. If music was his great passion, the second one was, in fact, his passion for women. Yet his only woman, l'unica donna in his life, was Elvira. They met in Lucca. He, a charming and penniless young musician, rich only in sogni e chimere. She, already married to Narciso Gemignani. I have a friend who knows music, Giacomo Puccini. He could teach you to play the piano. Giacomo and Elvira fell in love. Elvira became pregnant, and the couple fled from Lucca to Monza, where their son Antonio was born. The relationship between Giacomo and Elvira was always turbulent. On one hand, her jealousy. On the other, Giacomo infidelities. Most of the time, meaningful adventures. Other, with tragic consequences instead. When a young maid at Puccini's villa, Doria Manfredi, committed suicide following false accusations by Elvira, the relationship between the two seemed on the brink of the abyss. Much more than that time when Puccini started a relationship with a young student met on a train from Milan to Turin for a replica of Tosca. Giacomo Puccini and Elvira Bonturi, in Gemignani, married only on January the 3rd, 1904, in the church of Torre del Lago, after the death of Narciso, her first husband. Not even marriage solved the problems between the two. But it was for Elvira, the last thoughts of Puccini in Brussels, a note written in pencil. Elvira, povera donna, è finita. Elvira, poor woman, it's over. Nell'ora del dolore, perché? Perché, Signore, perché me ne remuneri così? That time was a close call. It was dark, cold, and the bumpy road played its part. On February the 26th, 1903, returning from Lucca to Torre del Lago, the car driven by Puccini's driver and in which Puccini was traveling with Elvira and their son Antonio overturned. Giacomo emerged with a fractured leg, but it could have been much worse. Music, women, and thus jeans along with hunting. These were Puccini's great passions. Motorboats to race at high speed on the waters of the Lake Massaciucoli to the sea and Viareggio, but above all, cars. When Puccini bought his first car in the whole of Italy, there were only 4. Others would follow, so that he managed to own a remarkable collection for the time. And since not all bad comes to harm, the convalescence period was useful for the conclusion of Madama Butterfly, the story of a Japanese young girl who discovers how fake Pinkerton's promises can be. Puccini fell in love with the story of Cho-Cho-san during a trip to London, when he attended the prose play written by David Belasco. At the end of the performance, as Belasco said later, Puccini went to the dressing room and cried, embracing Belasco himself. "How could I say no to an Italian who hugs me crying and asks me to write an opera?" Madama Butterfly debuted at La Scala on February the 17th, 1904, but it's with a new version slightly modified and staged in Brescia on May the 28th that the opera achieved success. Manon Lescaut, La Bohème, Tosca, Madama Butterfly. It is thanks to these 4 masterpieces that Puccini arrives for the first time in the United States, invited to attend the first festival dedicated to him in 1907. On the stage of the Met, for the debut of Manon, as we already said, his old friend Enrico Caruso, at that time a celebrity in America. Puccini and Caruso got to know each other in the summer of 1897, when the young Napolitan tenor came to Torre del Lago for an audition. The role, Rodolfo, La Bohème. After a few notes, Puccini stopped him. "Chi ti manda te?" "Who sent you here?" he exclaimed. "Who? God? Dio?" Puccini and Caruso shared the great passion for music, but also for the future. If Caruso was the first to record a disc and sell 1 million copies, it is also thanks to a disc recorded right here in New York that today we have the opportunity to listen to the only known testimony of the voice of Giacomo Puccini.
Con tutto cuore l'egregio signor sia buona per le gentili parole pronunziate. Sono veramente grato al gran pubblico di New York per le accoglienze tanto entusiastiche che ha fatto alle mie opere. Accendo l'augurio del buon viaggio e finisco gridando America Forever!
Ma ora basta. Con le butterfly, le bohème e compagnia, tutto il mondo si aspetta da me un'opera e ce n'è bisogno proprio. Enough with butterflies, bohèmes and company. The whole world expects an opera from me, and there is really a need for it. Puccini's hunger for the future is clearly revealed in this letter, written to Ricordi while returning from the tour in the United States in 1907. And it would be America again to satisfy this hunger. On December the 10th, 1910, again it would be the Met to host his new opera, again a text by David Belasco, and again Enrico Caruso as a tenor. New was only the conductor, Arturo Toscanini. Well, for Dick Johnson and Minnie for the bandit, redeemed by the love of the saloon keeper, for La Fanciulla del West, the girl of the Golden West, 43 curtain calls. That evening, at the entrance, New Yorkers could see a huge forest of California sequoias, as tall as the skyscrapers of Manhattan, projected onto the curtains. On stage, real horses. And for the first time in opera, the wind machine. Stuff of cinema, stuff of the future. A future that would soon lead to the outbreak of the First World War. When Italy entered the war against Austria, Puccini's contract with the Carl Theater in Vienna dissolved, and his new opera La Rondine would be staged in a revised form in Monte Carlo in 1917. A few days after the end of the war, it's the turn, as mentioned, of Il Trittico, here in New York. If in Il Tabarro, the Paris of La Bohème colored itself with gloom and crime, and in Gianni Schicchi, false family conventions are ridiculed, Suor Angelica is the only opera to feature female characters only. But especially after the war, it's not hard to imagine why. Che ingiustizia invecchiare. Ne ho proprio rabbia, accidenti. What an injustice to grow old. I'm really angry about it, Dan. Puccini writes in a letter from 1920, I don't want to give up. Sometimes I believe I'm the same as years ago. A volte mi credo il solito di anni fa. Illusioni. And also a sign of strength. After the First World War, the entire world changed, even the music scene. Puccini risked embodying a past to be overcome. To be overcome, Puccini. He, who always thrived on novelty. He who had always followed what was new in music. Well, it was the Princess of China, Turandot, Calaf, and the slave Liu to give Puccini the strength he needed. He immediately fell in love with the subject. In 1920 the plot is there and so is the opera. He writes, un'opera originale, forse unica, maybe unique. Months of intense writing followed. Penso ora per ora, I think hour by hour, minute by minute about Turandot. And all the music written up to now seems like a farce to me, una burletta. And I don't like it anymore, non mi piace più. Is that a good sign? I think so. In December 1923, from his new villa in Viareggio, a handful of kilometers from Torre del Lago, on the seafront of the most lively town in Italy, Puccini can observe the fruits of his labor. Even the third act, up to the exit of Liu after her death, is completed. Then something jams. The final duet between Calaf and Turandot does not come. Io vedo buio, I see it dark, Puccini wrote to the librettist Adami. And then there was that sore throat that didn't leave him, that cough that suffocated him but didn't stop him from smoking such an impressive number of cigarettes every day. The diagnosis of throat cancer is not a big surprise, but it's merciless. The race to Brussels for cutting-edge surgery is the only hope. Turandot remains unfinished. On November the 29th, 1924, on a cold, rainy autumn day, so typical of Northern Europe, Giacomo Puccini dies. Princess Turandot is left without her love duet. The world is left without Giacomo Puccini. If a winter's bleakness will be all the garden, uno squallor d'inverno sarà tutto il giardino, from that day, from that November the 29th, 1924, tutta la primavera, all of spring fragrances, from the pages of music he has left us, and that even today, 100 years later, resound every single minute somewhere in the world.
Scute Spoli morto, che m'aiuta, rose il varco nella soglia, tutta la prima violenti, corvo
And we wish we arrive at the end. We ended with a piece to celebrate with collaboration because we have here our special guest star from the Puccini Festival, Marina. Yes. Then we have Giacomo from the ASCO director of the Opera Project, a faculty member of the festival. And me, just me, okay? So, of course, I don't call again on stage all the performers, but of course I want a big applause probably for them all to all everything. Thank you all so much for being here. This means a lot to us. And I think also Puccini would be so happy to see so many people here. And we say not goodbye because we hope to see you again something similar. I say, but now don't leave right away because there is just a small refreshment upstairs. Yeah, cosa? Ah, presento. No. Okay, so I will be told, tell me from backstage to repeat all the name. Of course, I need to give a big round of applause to our amazing narrator. This is very important, actually, Simone Dini Gandini. Yes. Yeah. I mean, now we're just staying because I was telling them there is refreshments soon. Yes, but of course, everyone. So as you can see, there were even very, very young musicians. These are people all were in Lunigiana, okay? Some of them have been in the last edition, some of them we didn't see them for 4 years. Some of them we saw only in Lowline edition today, the first time we met. So it's very, very important. So again, all the name of them, I hope to remember all. We have Cameron, Junwen, the pianist, Claire. Okay, they're coming. Claire, Dawson. Sì, già detto. Then we have Gianni is our staff member and the faculty as well. And Sue Brandon, our youngest student tonight, as you can see. Yes.